It's time to bury the ghost of Kevin Samuels with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was a terrorist. To the family dynamic, to the family structure, he was a terrorist. He convinced weak men to be weaker men. And you allowed Kevin Samuels to ask your woman what she brings to the table? The woman is the table. But the majority of you men have nothing to place on that table. You're mentally deficient, you're financially deficient, you're emotionally deficient, you're spiritually deficient, and your masculinity is deficient.
A few moments later.
Now, here he is. I just want to show this. Here he is in LA with brother Polight, who we already know the story of brother Polight. Here he is, face down on the pavement, drunk. Now, I want you to watch this. He face down on the pavement, drunk, getting arrested for being drunk. Now, look at that spot on the ground up there where he was just laying at. Fool threw up while he was laying down there. He's so drunk, laid on the ground, threw up. And listen, a bunch of men get drunk and throw up. But they ain't around here talking about all praise Allah. They ain't around here talking about I live by the word of God. They ain't around here talking about I'm a man of God. They ain't around here talking about I'm an alpha male. They ain't around here talking about none of that. He out there drunk, barefoot. Where's shoes at? What this man represent? Sitting there barefoot with a wife beater on, drunk, and then threw up on the spot he was just laying on.
No! Behind me, God has blessed me in so many ways. Look at her. The better you love a woman, the more she whispers into the ears of God for you.
I bet you looked at that video and you said to yourself, that's a good black man right there. That's a black king right there. I bet you watched that video and you said to yourself, you can't wait to have a man that loves you like that. Didn't you? Whole time he been knocking her head between the washer and dryer for years. I mean, beating her black and blue like she was a checkerboard. The rebrand is crazy. These men are awful, awful human beings. Please do not let this man trick y'all. He is a serial abuser.
Now, here's the charges, man. That's his name right there. You see, Yadin, that's him right there. That's his attorney, Brian Frost. All right. Now, and that's the plaintiff up there. All right, peep game. These are the charges, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. These are the charges. He got a driving under the influence. Well, that's just traffic stuff. But he got aggravated assault, family violence. Another aggravated assault, family violence. Criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. Cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. These are his charges. You understand me? So when we talking about it, man, what kind of man is this to be talking about, man, KS? You seem like you're the domestic terrorist to marriage, boy. You're the one that's against the family. And the crazy thing is, you could say KS was against the families. You look like you're against your own family. How somebody who got all these charges against his own family gonna call another man out and say, well, he had failed marriages. You know what? It's better to end a marriage than to get these charges. It's better to have 2 failed marriages than to have these charges in one. Oh, this queen, the queen, she's your queen to be. I pay my wife $250,000 a year. I see why you do. You got to pay her something to stay. You doing all this, she trying to run away.
It's time to bury the ghost of Kevin Samuels with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was a terrorist. To the family dynamic, to the family structure, he was a terrorist. He convinced weak men to be weaker men. Any man that convinces a man that he's the prize and the woman isn't is your enemy. A good woman deserves everything on this earth and in the universe. She gives us children. She brings us peace, harmony, joy. She rubs our back. She turns our house into a home, our groceries into a meal. She nurtures our children. She nurtures us, even when we're in our ego and our pride. And you allowed Kevin Samuels to ask your woman what she brings to the table? The woman is the table.
I want y'all to remember he said a woman deserves everything on this earth. Everything. Because we're going to see what hit everything mean in a minute, man.
But the majority of you men have nothing to place on that table. You're mentally deficient, you're financially deficient, you're emotionally deficient, you're spiritually deficient, and your masculinity is deficient. So if you want to pass like Kevin Samuels with multiple failed marriages, leaving a world where your children don't even respect you, of course follow him. But that man's ghost needs to be put in the grave where it belongs, because it's not beneficial to us as a whole. The woman needs to be uplifted. The woman needs to be loved. The woman needs to be nurtured, because that's what providers do until she's able to become whole herself. She's been broken. She doesn't trust us. She's been betrayed. She doesn't trust us. We don't protect her. She doesn't trust us. We don't provide for her. She doesn't trust us. But we have the audacity to listen to a man that had severe mommy issues? Man, allow Kevin Samuels' ghost to be buried with the body. And if you guys take this the wrong way or get defensive about what I'm saying, you're a part of the problem. And some of you women are so broken, you listen to Kevin Samuels because you suffer from daddy issues. There's nothing more greater than the woman. She's the first gift to man. She must be protected and provided for by all means necessary. And we have to understand who's a terrorist to the family dynamic. I love y'all. Peace.
We need to understand who's a terrorist to the family dynamic. First of all, when he's talking about a woman being broken, the man who broke her should fix her. Anything that a woman has gone through, the man who did it should fix it. Only a simp views the world and says, I need to find a broken woman and fix her from what somebody else did. And if we're going to talk about Eve, yes, Eve was the first gift. But Eve was also the first one to go astray. So we're not going to even go back to Eve. We ain't going to talk about that. We're going to leave that where it is. What we're talking about is a man who could not get a woman that he wanted before he started paying and tricking off. I'm going to be honest with you. I started to post all that, man, but I'm not trying to put those women on blast, man. This ain't even about putting him on blast. This is about calling them the task and say, bro, you've been out here selling these dreams and doing all this, man. Okay, we see what type of cat you are. All this time you're doing this. And I wouldn't have said nothing still, because I really don't care. But then when you had audacity to call someone else a terrorist to the family unit. Come on, Yada. Come on, boy. You let your woman sit at home all day and don't do nothing. She's supposed to be cooking. You got to cook. She's supposed to be cleaning, you got a maid. She can't even shop because she got a stylist. She don't do nothing. She just sit at home all day. She make babies, but she was already making them before she met you. See, here's what guys don't understand. When a man tries to bolster the woman out in front of him like that, it's because he wants you to focus on her so you won't see his deficiencies. Real men lead from the front. You don't put your woman out front. If you put her out front, then whoever is attacking is going to hit her first. If you put her up high, then whatever's falling from the sky is going to hit her first. So while he's talking all this, give her money, give her money, give her money, he'll put on Front Street in a battle. He'll put on the front line when there's a war. And now we're going to find out the true reason why he's willing to pay a woman $250,000 a year after admitting she don't do nothing. And she could leave whenever she want to leave. And she own all his business. But I always wonder, why in the hell would a man do all of that? I get it. You give her $250,000 a year, maybe she helped the business. But when she got access to all your business and all your accounts, and you ain't got access to her account, and she could leave and take whatever she want to take and do all of that, I said there's got to be something going on. Either he lying or he paying the woman for something. Lo and behold, somebody send me another clip. I promise you, brothers, I didn't even know that this was out there. Every clip I'm going to show you about this guy, somebody showed it to me. Somebody sent it to me. All at the same time. They all came like within a 3-hour period. So obviously everybody knew something that I didn't know. Man, that boy just got hit with some charges. I'm talking about, man, putting his hands on this old lady. There's a video out that I didn't even want to show. There's a video of him, she going to somebody's house, man, asking for help. And he running up on her. And he tried to pay the people to get rid of it. I'm not going to even show that. Because like I said, I don't want to put any of these women on blast. because all they doing is being misled. They being misled and spoon-fed by a sucker. You know what I'm saying? And so whichever way a man lead a woman, that's the way she gonna go. So if they climbing up the rabbit hole or going down the rabbit hole, that's the way the woman gonna go. You understand me? So SJ, what's good, brother? So I also want you, man, there's a bunch of things, man, just a bunch of scams out there, man, a bunch of things this guy's been into. But I'm going to tell you, man, any man who will do anything for money, and many men out here, a bunch of men out here, everything they do it for the possibility of a woman liking them. Everything they do, the way they dress, what they drive, the jewelry, I mean, the way they wear their hair, whatever they do, man, whatever they do, where they live, everything is based on getting a woman to like them. But what these suckers don't know, because there's a bunch of yadas out here. All y'all ain't giving your old lady $250, but it's a bunch of y'all suckers out here that's yadas. There's a bunch of cats be talking about they got game and they yadas. There's a bunch of cats out here talking about they own and they yadas. There's a bunch of cats out here talking about they peas, but they yadas. And I'm going to be honest with you. If the woman don't like you, she ain't never going to like you. And you got to be a stone cold fool, man, to be with a woman that don't like you, but like the stuff. Just like there's self-confidence and there's stuff-confidence, there's a woman who like you for yourself, and there's a woman who like you for your stuff. A woman who like you for yourself, she gonna benefit from the stuff, but she gonna appreciate the stuff. A woman who like you for the stuff, you lose the stuff, hair's gonna be gone.